Hey guys, Safety Dave. All right, so I'm going to go over the fall protection work plan. This fall protection work plan is for Bellevue Plaza. All right, so this work plan must remain available on the site for inspection at any time. All employees that will be working on this job site will be aware of this fall hazards and will understand the means of mitigation that will be utilized as contained in this fall protection work plan. So this fall protection work plan is located at the safety bulletin board inside the safety and training hanging folder. You'll see it on the board, and it's for your review, and if the GC ever wants to audit it, it's always available. Okay, so you'll notice on page 1 the contents. This will kind of explain everything that's in here, but I'm going to go ahead and let's review this together. So on page 2, you have the specific job information, has the project, has the contractor job number, the date this was prepared, it has my phone number, has Brian's phone number, it has Steve Black's phone number. It also has Tom Giles' phone number in it as well. So I'm going to make sure we get that in there. So if you ever have any questions regarding this plan, you can reach out to us and we'll answer what we can. All right, so you have fall hazards in each area. So let's go over this. So these are the fall hazards that we are likely to encounter on this site. So we got to fall to a lower level, fall into a secondary object, a swing fall, struck by a falling object, or fall into an arresting system. So that's on layout and bed checks, which are conducted at leading edge. Fall to a lower level, fall into a secondary object below, a swing fall, struck by an object, fall into a arresting system. That's during clip installation, leading edge. So you guys have falls. Fall to a lower level, swing fall, struck by an object, or fall into an arresting system. Flying the landing platform to the structure from the ground or from floor to floor when the handrail is down and removed and there's an exposed leading edge. So then we have a fall hazard to a lower level, swing fall, struck by a falling object, fall into a arresting system, and that's while loading bunks onto the platform. When unhooking rigging from the bunks, worker will not stand on any bunk, brick, or any sealy rack or anything on the platform to gain height to unhook rigging unless worker is standing away from the landing platform, guardrail, and on the building side. So there's 3 sides. You have guardrails on the loading landing platform. You must be on the building side if you're going to reach up or stand on it to grab something. The reason being is because now you're elevating yourself above the guardrail height. Okay, you got fall to a lower level, swing fall, struck by a falling object, fall into a arresting system is while you're setting and flying units, leading edge. So you'll notice on Bellevue Plaza, we're going to use guardrails. So if you reach out any part of your body over the guardrail, you need to be tied off. And I'll kind of explain the equipment we're going to use and how to tie off to that. So you got fall to a lower level and impalement while climbing ladders to access upper levels or to attach an SRL to an anchor point. So if you are doing the loading platform, they will have ceiling anchors, or while we're doing leave out bay, they're going to have ceiling anchor tabs. So while you're reaching up to put your SRL or your anchor extender up there to attach your SRL, when climbing on a ladder, you could fall to a lower level. While in a scissor lift or in a boom lift, if we have one out there at any time, or while accessing the bed of the truck while doing deliveries, you have a ladder. So make sure you use 3 points of contact and make sure you inspect your ladder before use. So then you'll notice on page 3, methods of fall restraint and fall arrest. So we have self-retracting lifelines or yo-yos. You'll notice on this, all the different brands we have. Also has pictures of them right here. So you know about the Protectas, those heavy guys. We got nano locks. Now I want to mention, and I'm going to reiterate this, I know some of you don't like the nano locks. We're going to be using them with our new cable horizontal lifeline system that's going to be stretched at 41 inches above. So no longer are we going to put our horizontal lifelines way up. They're going to be down low, just below chest level, so you can tie, my chest level, so you can tie off to them. So on level 4 tower 1, currently we only know about tower 1. Level 4 tower 1, okay, south and west elevation. You have to use an analog. Reason being is the free fall clearance is only 14 feet. If you use one of the leading edge lanyards, as you will be able to on the rest of the building, you need a clearance of 22 feet from the cable horizontal lifeline. Okay, does that make sense? So from the working surface to the lower level, it's 14 feet. A DBI solid nanolock at 30-foot span only allows you to fall, I think it's like 11 feet or something like that. But the lanyard could allow you to fall up to 21 feet. So we can't use those there. So on level 4, south and west elevation, you have to use the nanolock. All right? That's the only spot. It's the only way we can get away with without having to put our lines high. So we got horizontal cable lifelines. These are new. All right, and you also have the retractable cable, so wire cable. We got away from synthetic rope. We're now using wire cable. So used when on leading edge in conjunction with the leading edge lanyard or a nanolock edge SRL. Will be connected between 2 ratchet column straps wrapped around 2 columns. Another thing we're going to do is we're going to put a ratchet anchor strap on each column. Some of them have carabiners. Those are the intermediates. So you can stretch out a 100-foot cable, and I have instruction videos. You'll also find that right here on the safety bulletin board. You'll notice YouTube videos. So you'll notice one of these, how to install the DBI solid wire cable horizontal lifeline. This one here. So scan that, and it's a YouTube video of me installing it on level 1 down on Bellevue Plaza. So refer to that if you have questions. All right, so we got full body harness. Use wall fall arrest systems while on the leading edge. Really important. Make sure you do a proper inspection, pre-use inspection of your harness. Also on this list, you can find instruction, a video I made of how to properly inspect your harness. It's one of the ones up here. So take a look at this list. It's on the bulletin board as well. Check it out. You can watch the video. Make sure it's like 5 minutes. Make sure you're properly inspecting your harness. Okay. So we also have the new ratchet anchor strap system. So here it is. This is what we're using. It has protection for all 4 sides. So it has protection behind the ratchet. It has protection where the D-ring is, and it has protection on the other corners. I also have a video on this, on how to properly install that. You'll see me on level 1 on a column where there's they sprayed Monaco. You'll see me installing one. So also we have column straps, so we'll only use these. We don't want to use these with the cable horizontal lifeline system. We bought 124 of these, so we should be fine. Only use these if you're tying to, like, say, a column up above you, or if you're on the roof and where they got the steel. I also have plans to show at the back of this plan. It shows the roof diagram, so they should, by the time we get up there, hopefully have davits and things we can tie back to, you know, the window washer davits and whatnot. It kind of shows the, you'll see here, the steel and whatnot. That's in one of the appendixes in the back. So we also have leading edge lanyards. So we bought a bunch of these new DBI solids. We have some new Guardian 6 foot. These are also 6 foot. And you can use these with the cable horizontal lifeline. The only place you can't use them, again, is on 4 on the south and west elevation. All right. So where that deck on level 3 is, the floor above that, directly over the deck, you can't use it. But everywhere else, you guys can use these. They have the nice pelican hooks, so they're easily to attach and easy to take off. So, and I have those with me. I will personally hand out each one of you those. The only person that has one of these is the layout crew. Victor has his own and a nanolock. So I will personally give you guys the lanyards and the nanolocks on crews that are going to do leading edge work. So the guardrail system, you'll notice the wire cable guardrail. We're going to keep that up and stay behind it as much as possible. We're going to fly the units up and over it. Okay, so there's where our loading platform goes on that elevation on Tower 1. It's going to be on the northeast kind of corner on the north elevation. So they have what's called a SAPS system. Okay, and in the back, in the appendix, okay, so on the very back, second page to the last of this plan, you'll notice the SAPS system. Okay, this is a demonstration of where they're going to put the SAPS system. Here's the floor plan, and here's exactly what the SAPS system is. Okay, essentially the SAPS post is a guardrail post that you can tie off to right here. So that's an anchor. All right, this is how the anchor goes. They do wall ones too, but this is what you're going to see, and this is the location of them. All right, and I also have a card at the safety bulletin board that shows. I have another one that shows. So on the safety bulletin board, you'll notice a little SAP system placard. I also made a video, if you're ever curious, on how to navigate your safety bulletin board. It's one of these top ones. Hey, what's up here? Hey, okay, here you go. It's on the bottom, sorry. Navigating your dry shack safety bulletin board. So if you're ever curious where things are, how to gather information, watch that quick video and it'll show you. Okay, so back to means and methods of fall protection. All right, so that's our guardrail system, and it kind of explains. Also, we have tool lanyards, so make sure you are using tool lanyards. And when I say tool lanyards, I don't mean the tool is tied off with a lanyard, but it's not connected to the structure. If you have a tool lanyard on, it has to be secured to your body. So if the tool is less than 6 pounds, you can attach it to your body. Or if it's more than 6 pounds, like Burke bars and whatnot, make sure you attach it to the structure, bigger drills. Having a tool lanyard on it and not attaching it to the building does nothing. So make sure we do that. All right, so on page 5, you'll notice assembly, disassembly. You'll notice inspection, and you'll notice maintenance. In the appendix A, it has instructions from the manufacturer. So from the actual manufacturer manuals, it'll show how to properly assemble and disassemble the equipment we just discussed. And then appendix B is proper inspection. So I'll have instruction how to properly inspect. And then appendix C will talk about maintenance and storage. So how to properly maintain and store your fall protection equipment that we just discussed. All right, so handling and storage. Handling tools being used on the leading edge or within a suspended scaffold or swing stage will always be tied off using tool lanyards that are properly anchored. Storage. Tools and material not being used will be kept inside of a cart or like a carrying, bag, bucket, or within your gang box that is located a minimum of 6 feet away from the leading edge or behind the guardrail, of course. Workers will only bring minimal tools and material needed to perform a task while working within an elevated work platform or a suspended scaffold. While working within an elevated work platform or suspended scaffold, the worker will store materials and tools and material within the confines of the platform or scaffold. Securing. As stated above, tools will be secured while working on the leading edge or within a suspended scaffold by means of a tool lanyard secured to the worker's person is less than 6 pounds or to an approved anchor if more than 6 pounds. Okay, on page 6, we have methods of protecting for overhead protection. So make sure you have your hard hat. ANSI-approved hard hats will be worn, always required on site. Toe boards, if you take them down, they will be properly reinstalled. All right. Tool lanyards will be used to secure tools being used at a leading edge. Another thing about toe boards, if you guys are storing material or laying it out, that's not a best practice. But if you are doing it, make sure you keep it behind the toe board. All right. I do find that on occasion. We'll keep a bunch of clips on the leading edge. You don't know if another trade walks up just to look over the edge and kicks that toe board and it smacks it off the building. Well, then we're liable. So. Controlled access zone will be set up at the lowest level below leading edge work to restrict access by other affected persons to the work zone. Delineation cones will be used with red danger rope or tape surrounding the work zone to restrict access to that zone. A sign will also be affixed to that barricade showing the description of the hazards workers above, and make sure you have your contact. You can find that signage on the bulletin board. Information, the name and phone number, the competent worker, which is the crew foreman or site superintendent who directed the setup of the CAZ. CAZ stands for Controlled Access Zone. If CAZ is not feasible, so if you can't set up a barricade with delineation and red rope, we will designate a spotter to keep others from passing underneath our suspended units or loads. Injured worker removal. So here's our rescue plan. This is really important. So in the event that somebody falls, to rescue process stated here will be followed in these steps. Stop all work. If necessary, call out 911 at floor level over the man lift call box and then dial 911 immediately for emergency response. So remember, if necessary, don't hesitate to go to the man lift box, say 911 on this level, or call 911 on your phone. Okay, locate the nearest scissor lift. This is first. This is primary. We're going to locate the nearest scissor lift on the floor below, or the floor where the worker is suspended. Move the scissor lift to the worker. Extend the scissor lift basket to the rescue worker. So elevate up to him, get him down, unhook him, and bring him down. Okay. So if rescue is not feasible with a scissor lift, I have included a gotcha rescue kit. Currently, we have the 100-footer out there, and attached to the Vola crane or nearest fixed anchor to bring the fallen worker up to retrieve them. If fallen worker has fallen beyond reach of gotcha rescue pole, and especially if the worker is unconscious, we have workers that are trained in industrial rope access. So if there's someone who isn't trained, either Chris Dew, Peter Bernier, John Devine, Mark Kurgan, or Jordan Day, if they are on site and we have a rope access kit and say the person is unconscious, they can actually descend over the edge, anchoring to either the Vola or a proper anchor, go over the edge and attach to that worker and conduct a suspended rescue. If fallen worker is injured, do not move the worker, wait for emergency responders. Clear a pathway for extraction to the man lift and notify your site supervisor immediately. Okay, so normal first aid procedures. Only perform first aid if you are certified. If applicable, initial call 911. First aid kits, so the location is within each crew gang box or within the dry shack. And then the AED is per the GC. It's by gate 1 and gate 2 of the site, which are located on, I know gates are located on the corners on 106th. Okay, so I know one of the gates, I forget the number, I think maybe gate 1, but one of the gates is on Main and 106th on the corner. So there's an AED there. All right, so training and instruction. Page 7, this is really important. I want you guys to go ahead, and this book is located on your safety bulletin board, and you would have had to grab it to scan the QR. Grab it, go to page 7, and go ahead and write your employee name, sign, and date. So you'll notice name, sign, and date. That shows that you have understood and this plan has been reviewed with you. Okay, remember I mentioned Appendix A earlier? So here's all the assembly, disassembly. You have the ratchet anchor strap. I also have videos located on the Walters and Wolf YouTube channel, instructional videos. Looks like this. It's on the safety bulletin board for installation and inspection of these, and even storage of our fall protection equipment. So Appendix A is assembly, disassembly of all our equipment. Section B is your inspection, so it has everything. It has column straps. Section C, Appendix C, is your maintenance, storage, and of your equipment. And again, this all is from the manufacturer, so take time to kind of look over that, or if you're curious. That way you don't have to actually have a copy of the manufacturer's manual. So Appendix D, you'll notice fall protection layout and drawings. Okay, so it's kind of just an example of how we're going to utilize our fall protection. So you'll notice ratchet anchor strap around each and every column on the floor. Okay, this is tower 1 and 3 are similar. You'll use a carabiner to run cable horizontal lifeline through the termination. So when you set up a cable horizontal lifeline system, okay, you're going to stretch it all the way. You're going to set a ratchet anchor strap on each column. And again, that video is right here. I encourage everyone to watch it. All right. So you'll see certain ratchet anchor straps. The bags are painted pink. All right. Those have carabiners on them. Those are your intermediates. All right. So again, I encourage you, if you're going over this fall protection plan, real quick, pull up how to install the cable DBI solid wire cable horizontal lifeline. Watch that video and also watch how to properly install the ratchet anchor strap. All right. Watch those videos and they'll explain everything on how to set up our system. All right. You'll notice here's tower 2. This is kind of an overall what we're going to do and how it's going to be implemented. So take time to check that out. Here's the roof. I mentioned that earlier. Here's the sequence. Appendix E is the sequence. So it'll show you leading edge work. Here's your connection. Leading edge, you either have a lanyard, an anti-lock, horizontal lifeline set at 41 inches up from the working surface around a column ratchet anchor strap. Okay. Leave out bay. You have a harness, SRL, D-ring extender to anchor tab. So they'll have anchor tabs in the ceiling at the leave out bay where the man lifts currently are. And you'll notice we have D-ring extenders I ordered. We have about 7 of them. So the D-ring extender attaches to the anchor tab, which is at the ceiling, hangs down kind of like a concrete anchor strap. That way you could easily access it with your SRL. Remember, if you have questions on any of this, call me, reach out to your site supervisor. There's videos on them right here. Even the anchor extender has a video. Check these videos out for installation guidance. Appendix F is charts and specs. So it's a fault clearance. So using the cable, this came from the DBI cable horizontal lifeline. So check that out. That's the chart. And last page. So remember to sign page 7. The SAP system, we already went over that SAP system. And on the last page is kind of some questions I had for GLY, and their answers are in red. So feel free, those are notes to review that. All right, if you have any questions, reach out to me or your site supervisor. Thank you, guys. Hey guys, I also wanted to mention, along with the fall protection work plan, I've also created little cards, little laminated cards. They're sitting with the safety documentation and trading records hanging folder on the safety bulletin board. So you'll find it with your safety work, fall protection work plan. All right, real quick. So it's a roadmap. So I have roadmaps for each level. So roadmap for level 3, because it's different. You know, we don't need full protection all the way around. Roadmap for level 4. Let's see, level 3. Here's level 4. So you got level 4, level 3, and then levels 5 through 17. So if you're curious on how to set up the system out there, that's the roadmap, and it's located with the fall protection work plan. Also, here's another chart. Remember I showed you the free fall clearance charts? Here's another chart I laminated, kind of put out there if you're curious, to make sure you calculate the proper free fall using the cable horizontal lifeline. And then also I mentioned the sequence of connecting in the different areas: leading edge, leave out bay. You got boom lift, elevated scissor lift, and loading platform. So kind of all right there, kind of explains it. So if you're ever curious, again, with the fall protection work plan, if you have questions, remember, ask me. All right.